Hi guys, today I'll show you one hidden gem in Iceland that is often gets overlooked on most Icelandic itineraries. But in my opinion, it's a must-go place if you're visiting Iceland the first time. The place is called Heimaey Island. It is a relatively small island on the southern side of Iceland, which is only about 5 square miles in size, and it's 4 miles away from the mainland. However, despite its size, it hosts quite a large number of inhabitants, 4,500 to be exact, which is quite a lot for a typical Icelandic town. The island also has its own airport, but the easiest way to get there in the comfort of your own car is to use a ferry. Ferry service operates 4 times a day, every day, and one trip on the ferry is only about an hour long.
Weather is nice, so we might actually be able to stay outside.
While on the ferry, you will float by the famous Loneliest Island, which will be about half-mile away, and in a good weather you will be able to see it in details. We weren't so lucky in the morning and visibility was quite bad, so we decided to visit the place later with the help of a drone. We'll get to that later in the video.
Here we go, we arrived. This is supposed to be a really small island, but there's a lot of houses here. I guess that's all these people who really like to live in isolation.
One of the places on the island I really wanted to visit the most was the famous Elephant Rock. It is a rock formation that doesn't even look real when I first saw it on pictures, but it is most definitely is, and it looks very realistic.
There's supposed to be an elephant-looking hill right here somewhere, and I thought that's the one, but now I'm looking at it. It doesn't look like it. I was wrong, of course. This is not the Elephant Rock. The Elephant Rock is way behind there, and to see it we have to walk all the way to that end of the cliff, and that's probably another 10-15 minutes just to get there. Meanwhile, there's interesting looking sculptures here. You can't really get there. You have to go that way, I guess. Good thing about these rocks, they're like really grippy. Yeah, that's the Elephant Rock.
It's made out of basalt rock that were formed in the result of volcanic eruption many years ago. There are actually tour boats that can take you close to the rock itself if you really want this experience. However, we decided to opt out of it because we had so many other things to do on the island.
We are getting ready. We're planning to go up this mountain. I expect it to be pretty easy. About half-an-hour hike all the way up. Or maybe I'm grossly underestimating it. I don't know. What do you think?
10 minutes.
10 minutes? Well, you're gonna be running to make it in 10 minutes. This is starting really steep. I'm afraid how it's gonna go when we get like halfway there.
Mountain does not appear to be very tall and is only about 800 feet high, but it's quite steep. But the hike looked very appealing from the base of it, so we decided to give it a go.
So we just realized that not only we have to go up, we have to go all the way there, which is God, maybe another mile or so.
Hiking up the mountain, you can see puffins that build their nests in the soil by digging pretty deep holes for themselves. We also saw a sheep with 2 babies as we climbed.
Oh yeah, look at this!
As I said before, the hike is quite steep, but once you get to the top, it doesn't become any easier, and instead of being steep, it now becomes quite nerve-wracking, as you have to walk down the path where any wrong step can send you down 800 feet. After about an hour and a half of hiking, we finally made it to the top, where the view of the entire island was right in front of us.
You look too relaxed. I think we almost made it. This is the very top. Oh look, you can actually see the other side of this island. There are a few puffins sitting out there. Let me see if you can still catch them.
From the top, you can also see the Loneliest Island and the mainland Iceland. This hike was quite challenging, but is very rewarding at the end.
So after we climbed all that difficult trails around the cliffs, we were actually told that going this way up is a lot easier. So we decided we'll go down this way and see how much easier. Yeah, it is definitely much easier to go down this way. You can see the island with the loneliest house in the world right there. It looks really close from here, but it's about 3 miles away from here.
Going down was much easier on the east side of the mountain, as we discovered later from the couple who climbed up that way.
Easy hike, surprisingly easy. It was scary at the moment, but it was not long and it was not exhausting. It was probably just 3 or 4 miles long if I have to estimate it, but it's totally worth it.
Next thing on our list was Ravity lighthouse, that is on the very east side of the island. And to get there, you have to go through the construction site. I'm not even sure if you can do this legally, but there were no signs that explicitly said it's closed to the public, so we took our chance and went through it. Surprisingly, we didn't get stopped and we were able to make it all the way to the light.
I thought I think we made it. We made it all the way through the construction site without anyone stopping us or asking what the hell are we doing here. Good thing somebody broke the gate. Broke the gates and we were able to just get through unnoticed. Alright, so yeah, that will make our journey a lot shorter.
Right by the lighthouse, there are a few arch-shaped rock formations that don't seem to have a name to them, but we've seen them from the drone and decided to visit that area as well. And we were astounded that this place is not marked as a tourist attraction, as a lot of similar places are, and they look much less impressive than this one. But maybe it's a good thing after all that it isn't, as having crowds of tourists here wouldn't be safe for sure. Finally, the last place that I wanted to show is the Loneliest house. I've seen the picture of this place many times on Instagram and always wanted to see it with my own eyes. Unfortunately, you are not allowed to get on the island and see the building, which is actually not a house but someone's hunting lodge. I will not go into history of this place, and as you can easily Google it, but I really wanted to get a closer look at it, and flying a drone was the only feasible option. The house is located about 2.5 miles from the place where we can still launch a drone from. And it should be well within the range for the comm signal, given that there are no obstructions there. Alright, we are now going to visit the loneliest house in the world, which is right there.